Welcome to more Gran Turismo 7 Specialtatin. Today we're featuring Group 3s around Lago Maggiore. Not exactly my dandiest tracks, and it's only my second race back in over a year. So we'll see how this goes, folks. I'm in the Viper because that's what I'm most used to. I know it's definitely ain't the meta car, but in terms of a race, probably go with what more I'm used to than what's the absolute best one. Because the best one for qualifying might not necessarily be for racing. We'll see, folks. We'll see. As of now, though, the racing itself ain't bad. It's not like I'm in particularly good position. Especially given PS3 number, I'm E-Class driver rating here. So, yeah, there's that, folks. And there's this big braking zone here. So probably there'll be some... No, there was not some. I didn't even get to say some of what, because there was nothing. Is it nothing and a half? Is there such thing as nothing and a half? There's something and a half because something exists. Does nothing exist? Does anything exist? Does me making this turn exist? No, it does not. That particular turn, I don't think that this fictional track has a name, but that particular turn, like where I went wide, there, that left-hander, the second last one going to the straightaway itself, is by far my worst turn of track. I just cannot comprehend that turn, and I cannot comprehend that braking there. Also, because this is direct capture, I can't really go back particularly. But if you looked in the rearview mirror, you want to go back in the video, there was a car wrecked in the rearview mirror. So that one car dive bombing wrecked 3 of us, and then you saw 2 cars wrecked ahead too. I'd say there's a pretty good chance that one, I ain't gonna say driver for that because I know the story 3 of them. That player might have just wrecked 5 people there in a span of about 20 seconds. I know those clips kind of spanned more than 20 seconds, but some of the direct capture skips forward, like I've said before, and there's not a whole heck of a heap I can do about that. But what I need to do a whole heck of a heap now is driving to try and recover from the person just trying to have absolute chaos, and well, now I'm trying to recover in my worst turn, but the car ahead just let me by anyway, so that was nice, I guess. I don't know why it just let me by there, but I ain't gonna complain. I'll take what I can take. That was weird, but I mean, this whole race in general has been weird. It started off relatively calm, and then somebody just decided to absolutely go crazy and wreck 5 people in a span of 20 seconds, but well, now it's the last lap, so now everybody really needs to get focused and hopefully not wreck anyone. Hopefully just make for some good, clean racing. Yeah, I say this in an E-Class lobby, so we'll see how this goes. So, as of now, I'd like to say I can go of a higher position, because, I mean, that don't look too good for me being quote-unquote A+, but right there, I kind of saw something that was coming there. I don't even think that was outright dirty. I could just sort of tell that that car is carrying a bit more momentum than it should have there, so I'll let it by. It's probably better than end up getting wrecked, especially with this being a lower rated lobby. There'd be some mistakes, especially under pressure, and that pressure is amplified on the final lap. But this turn, pressure or not, the one coming up here, again, ain't the dandiest by far. Like, noticeable amounts, I'm just outright terrible here. I can't comprehend it. I use all run off there without getting a penalty, and I lose quite a bit of time, and again, it's an E-Class lobby. I don't really get that one, so yeah, that was honestly unimpressive driving by me, and yeah, of course I got involved in a wreck, but I think there were at least 5 cars that got involved in almost the same wreck, so hopefully I can do a little bit better in a different car. That's the hope here. This is the meta car, and I did a little bit more practice, but not really enough to help with qualifying time. Still really I'm picking far back there. And this is still in chronological order. This is the 3rd race I did back. So still basically the same lobby. Hopefully a little bit higher sportsmanship rating, but we'll find out, I guess, won't we? For now, yeah, there's a little bit of chaos behind me, but not too bad in front. So pretty clean racing so far. For all I know, someone just messed up in the back there. That might have been dirty racing. But dirty or clean or whatever, what I probably don't really want to do here is battle. But again, with this being such a different class of what I'm used to racing with, I don't really know how to go about it. And that driver didn't exactly know how to go about that turn. So in a way, it kind of worked out. But again, folks, I've said it before, and I'm not really going to bother saying it again because I'll let my driving do the talking here. Or back there. Oh, okay then. I'm gaining so much time I had to bump draft there. That was an awkward sector there because if I tried to go on the outside, it probably wouldn't have ended up doing anything. I would have just ended on the outside going into this turn, and I'd rather run my own line than be on the outside. So I decided to bump draft there. Hopefully that driver considers that a clean move and doesn't do anything to really deter me. But as of now, we're all pretty equal pace, so there really isn't much to deter him or whatever. And it's the equal car. I say that though, but I did gain some time through there, and somebody else had a moment through there. Luckily it was timed in a way in which I didn't get a penalty for that. The stupid, even though a car is ghost, there's no passing, which makes no sense. If a car is ghost, why does it affect the race? I don't know, but I'll say this. Maybe it just happens that I get lucky, some cars are making more mistakes around me, or I'm just outright faster with this car, or whatever, but I will say I'm doing better this race than the previous race, whatever the reason may be, but there still is a fair bit of this race to go. And I say this, and I still just got outright driven there. Outdriven, outright driven. Well, this is the right turn, and I still got out. Now, there you go. That works out. So now into the left turn, let's see if I can just... I was gonna say leave that car behind, but it's back ahead again. There's wide ranges of skill there. One turn I gain half a second, and the next turn that car gains half a second. I guess theoretically that's fairly common in these types of lobbies. Theoretically, I shouldn't even really have much competition at all in this type of lobby, but again, I'm not so good at this full track. Majora's as a full track is one of my worst, and we're to the worst section again. So it's probably going to be some good racing again, like soon. I know I could have used a little bit more track there, but realistically, I guess it worked out. Because it's looking like I have a pretty clean way of doing things there until something, I don't know if it's clean or dirty, happened up there, but I know the car ahead of me has dirty tires, and that almost caused a wreck even nothing. Luckily, my three-legged senior cat like reflexes kicked in there, and it didn't quite end up in a wreck, but that was almost a wreck though too. That car head's pushing real hard. I guess it may or may not know it has dirty tires, but I'd say at this point it probably doesn't, as I just absolutely outbrake it, accidental dive bomb there, and it worked. That was not intended to pass there at all, but it worked, so I'm not going to complain, especially because that car doesn't have dirty tires anymore. We're more off right now. But honestly, by now I just need to focus on the racing, because that car is racing me clean. So that's good. This is the time where I can get into more racing, now that it's later in the race, and it's looking like the positions are pretty secured unless somebody royally messes up or gets wrecked or whatever. The positions probably aren't going to change. Might as well race, because it looks good on camera, and it looks actually so clean on camera. And there is someone coming up slowly, but I can't really complain too much because my driving's going to do the complaining for me. As I still kind of sort of catch up to the car in front. The car behind did catch up to me, so this is not the dandiest situation. This is going to be awkward because I'm gaining momentum on the car in front, but the car behind has momentum than me, so it'll be an awkward time. And the braking's out. Oh, that's more awkward than I thought that was going to be. And that's the old Ferrari too. This is an update to where we got the new one and someone's still using the old one. So they probably really know what they're doing, and I'm still able to do at least something myself, so I'll take it, because them two behind me now are battling, and that worked out. Again, there's a wide range of skills. Some cars are better in some turns, some drivers are better in some turns, some are me and just worse kind of all around. But nonetheless, this race has actually been all around better for me than the last one, that's for sure. And I mean, I can't really complain too much about the position. I'm in the top 5. But I don't need to do much talking at all right now because there's still a fair bit of racing to go. This is the final lap. That was the cut to it to cut to some good racing. Look at my rearview mirror, folks. The car behind was able to get right behind again. That Ferrari seemed to just lose some pace over time. I don't really know why, but the Nissan overall definitely had more pace than it. And really, the only reason I was able to steer pretty clear of the Nissan was because the Ferrari got away. But once the Nissan that got clear of it, well, it's back. That Nissan probably has more pace than me. But catching and passing are different things. No matter the skill level. The lobby. That's true in all types of racing and all skill levels of racing. Catching and passing are different things. A specific thing that's true is, well, for the last time I'll say it in this video, is their turn coming up. Wish me luck, folks, because I'm going to need it, especially because straightaway coming up, I'll probably end up getting passed in the draft. Who knows, passed cleanly or not. I will say that Nissan's been clean so far. We're so far in the race now, though, that clean or dirty might not exactly matter too much. I think I just need to go ahead and assume dirty with people that I'm not used to racing with. It's the very last lap, so assume the worst. Expect the... No, that was actually quite clean. It was real close to something happening, but it didn't. I'll take it. Because that Nissan messed up enough to actually back off to not run into me, I'm probably good now. Just need to hit my marks and such, make sure I don't end up messing up. Still hit the apexes and stuff. But don't go overly so where I could get dirty tied. And Nissan's right back there. And Nissan's insanely fast, but by now I can just sit on the apex and I'm probably good. All things considered, that Nissan probably deserved to finish higher than me, and that Ferrari is going to pass it. That's not really what I intended. But I did intend to get at least a top 5, so I guess that's worth the yeehaw. Sorta, kinda.